What's up, Modiverse? Dr. Dave here, and welcome to the Geek Lounge. I hope you guys all had an awesome weekend and are looking forward to the week ahead. In today's video, we're going to be checking out all of the die-cast Funko Pop figures currently available. Now, on the off chance you guys don't know what a die-cast Funko Pop figure is, let me explain real quick. I'm not the most technically sound person, and I guess it's kind of like engineering to an extent, but die casting is essentially where you take a shape and you put molten metal into that shape to essentially form it. It's not really for collectibles, although it is widely used in the collectibles industry, but I think they use it in like the automobile industry and, you know, many other things to, you know, essentially get those metal shapes of particular objects. And in this case, they have done it with Funko Pops. So in layman's terms, it's a metal Funko Pop. And then you attach that metal figure to a base and put a clear plastic case over the top, similar to the hard cases. The only difference with the die-cast figures, though, is that all of this detail that we normally see on a Funko Pop box is actually lasered into that case to make a pretty cool display piece. I mean, you'll see what I mean in a second. And the die-cast figures are actually a lot more expensive than common or exclusive Pops at retail. They actually retail for £50 here in the UK. I think it is €50 throughout Europe, $50 in the US, 50 in Canada, for instance, but I don't think it's necessarily 50 everywhere else. I mean, in Mexico, I seriously doubt it's 50 pesos, Brazil, 50 real. I mean, you guys get the picture. The point I'm making is that these are more expensive, they're more displayable, more collectible, or at least they're supposed to be, and we'll get more into that in just a second. And the very first die-cast figure they released was Captain America from Captain America Civil War. I think it was early August during the FunCon event, which was in lieu of San Diego Comic-Con, which was cancelled last year due to the pandemic. You guys can see the 2021 shared sticker there. There was the exclusive sticker for the virtual, well, it was virtual because of San Diego being cancelled, of course. And yeah, like I said, this was the first one released, Captain America from Captain America Civil War. Now, if we go round, I'll show you guys the box, because the box is actually pretty nice, but it completely hides the figure, which is the annoying thing. So I guess to an extent you are paying somewhat for this nice box as well, but these are supposed to be these displayable pieces. So yeah, I kind of really don't feel you shouldn't be displaying in this box, because then you are simply just displaying something with a glam shot. It is totally up to you, of course, but for those of you that haven't seen these figures before, as I said, you can see the figure is there sitting inside this clear plastic case with the usual markings that we see on a Funko Pop box, just lasered in. But that's enough looking at the box and the glam shot. Let's get into this. So the box slides off here, as you guys can see, and there is always padding inside as well. Now you have that first bit of padding that just simply comes off like that, and you guys can see the box there with, as I said, all of the laser engravings that we normally see on a Funko Pop box. The reason for the black bit inside, again, that is protection that is inside. So you then pop that out. Always be careful when you first buy this, because the base is not normally attached. I've opened this up to check it was all in good condition and whatnot. Like I said, this came out nearly a year ago, but when you do first buy these, typically this isn't attached, and you might pull it out and everything kind of falls out. And they are kind of heavy figures, they are expensive figures, you of course don't want them to be damaged. So also inside the box is more bits of padding that just go all the way around. But I do have to tell you guys, or at least in my experience, when you are trying to put the figure back inside this box with all the padding, it's pretty difficult. The padding always kind of bends and gets squashed and whatnot. So yeah, that's another reason I feel don't put them in these boxes to display them. So without further ado, let's clip this bit off, if we can, that is. Yeah, it's a little bit stubborn. So, well, there's the base. I guess that's a good start, and the figure then clips into the base, as I mentioned before. And, well, I guess we'll pull the figure out first then, because the padding is stuck in there. So there is the figure, guys. And we'll obviously do 360s and whatnot, so you guys can see the figure in a bit more detail. It is from Civil War, as I mentioned, Captain America Civil War to be more precise. And I'm pretty sure it is the same mold as the number 125 figure in the Pop Marvel range. I think just the colour scheme is maybe a little bit more darker. I think that figure I actually don't own the figure, but I think it is a bit lighter, at least from some of the glam shots and whatnot that I've seen. You'd always have these screws in the back of the die-cast figure. I think because it's so heavy, they use those to just kind of hold the head together. It's kind of weird as well. The Marvel figures are supposed to be bobbleheads, and it's not a bobblehead, but the head does move a little bit, which I think is quite funny. But yeah, it's still a pretty cool figure. The one thing I always feel with these die casts is, though, you know, if they do the exact same mold that already exists, you know, could it not be something that is a little bit more unique, you know, especially with the price you're paying? But, you know, this is still a pretty cool figure, to be honest. I just kind of wonder, though, because this is kind of, you know, supposed to be displayed from the front, would it have been better having Cap with the shield kind of front and center as well? In my opinion, yes. But yeah, like I said, it's still a really cool figure. And the padding removes just like so, and then you have your clear plastic display piece. There is the padding, if you guys were interested in seeing that as well. The figure then clips in. Sorry, I'd already clipped it off camera for some reason. It just kind of clips in, you guys. I showed you the base there before, and you just clip it in like so, and it's therefore attached. And then you basically take your thing, as I mentioned, the clear plastic case, and that just clips on like that. And there you guys have your display piece, which I think does look really, really cool. Yeah, I mean, we'll go around and do a 360 of this as well. Like I said, I really like the detail where they essentially laser in all of the details that you would normally see on a Funko Pop box. From the, you know, the Pop logo, it's Marvel. This was #1 as well, as part of the die-cast range, so they created a new category. So this #1 of diecast, the Captain America there on the side with the #1. No details there on the back, as you guys can see. It is just, well, you've got that legal Funko Pop is a trademark. You've got the Marvel, you know, pretty much just that boring old copyright information there, but otherwise it is a open back. So yeah, you can see the shield there at the back, I guess, but who's ever really going to turn this figure around like that? As we come back round, we have Captain America #1, that sort of half face that you have at the bottom with Pop and Marvel as well. So yeah, I think they are some really cool display pieces. I do wish the bases were actually black. I think those would look a little bit better, if I'm being honest, but I think they did actually make it black for some of the later releases, but we'll get to those in just a second. Then oddly enough, guys, the next diecast figure to release was actually #3 in the set, and it was Batman, based on the 1989 Batman. Let me again give you guys a quick look at the box so you guys can see it in all its glory. Also a Funko Shop exclusive sticker. Now we'll touch more on that in just a second as well. But again, let's open this one up for you guys. So as I said, though, this was #3 in the diecast range. When we get to #2, I'll explain a little more about that. So as usual, you have the padding, you have the case that's in there, as well as all the other separate padding inside of the box. Oh, the bit at the bottom as well. And yeah, no, yeah, I had attached this one as well. So there we go, guys. He's already on the base, and there is the figure. Looks very metallic and shiny. I didn't really mention that about the Cap figure, but just because it didn't look as shiny, I guess, as this Batman one does. As I said, it is based off the 1989 Batman, the Michael Keaton version. Now, it's the one thing that I would say, it is like a different mold. There is a Batman 1989 figure. It's the #275 figure in the Heroes range, but it actually, in my opinion, has better detail than this die-cast figure, which, you know, is a little bit disappointing when you pay this, you know, pay the amount for what these figures cost. You know, in the brow, in the, you know, the abs and things, they're all a bit more defined than this figure. It's just kind of like an old style head bat cow with the body that's, you know, it just looks plain to me, which is a little bit disappointing. I feel if they were just going to like copy a mold, just copy the 89 mold, and it probably would have looked a little bit better with those details, but again, it's still a pretty decent figure. I don't know if they were going for that almost kind of nostalgic look, maybe, because that's kind of what this one looks like, especially with the head. It looks more like that old style Funko Pop where the detail wasn't as prominent. And we'll pull out the padding and then pop the case on top like so. And there it is, guys. Although this one doesn't seem to clip in as well, which is a little bit annoying. And again, if we go round the box, because, you know, these display pieces do look cool. Like I said, especially for Batman, I feel the base, if it was black, it could have looked a lot better. But yeah, the rest of the detail is there. Pop number 3, it's got the Bat logo there, etched in as we go round again. Batman number 3 on the side. Nothing on the back again, apart from that legal information. A little bit more legal information, I guess, because you've got DC and Warner Brothers there, as well as the Funko logo. Batman number 3 with the half bat cowl there on the side as well, that we do always typically see on the Funko Pop figures. But yeah, like I said, I feel the detail in the diecast could have been a little bit better, but it's still a pretty cool figure and a pretty cool display piece nonetheless. And then the third release was actually number 2 in the diecast range of figures. It was Iron Man from the first Avengers movie. I'm honestly not sure why they did it like this, why he was number 2, but he was the third release, why Batman was released despite him being number 3. If anyone does know for sure, let me know in the comments section below. The other interesting thing is there is no exclusive, no Funko Shop exclusive, no exclusive sticker whatsoever, which I also think is a little bit weird. If memory serves me right, they did sell this on EMP. It came to Funko Europe, sold out. It then went to EMP, but EMP did used to sell all the Funko Shop exclusives throughout Europe before there ever was a FunkoEurope.com. So again, I'm honestly not too sure why there is no sticker there. Again, if someone does know, let me know in the comment section below. I don't know if they wanted to release like a DC one, you know, after a Marvel one rather than 2 Marvel figures off the bat. Again, I'm honestly honestly do not know. If someone does, like I said, let me know in the comments section below. That was the box. Let's now get into this figure. Actually, this one is a little bit more stubborn in terms of getting it out. There we go. I've got the fingers in. Yeah, this is, wow, this is really stuck on. You know what, guys? I'm being completely stupid. I seem to have never taken this one out the box because the tape is still there. That is pretty stupid. Let me go grab a knife. And the knife can now go away. I honestly thought I'd opened all of these up before to check that they were all in good condition, but the Iron Man one I never opened up, which is a bit scary, especially if it's broken, because I've had it for quite a long time now. But anyway, there is all the padding on top. Let's get that out. I mean, it looks okay from the front. Some of that padding is actually crushed in there. That's what I was talking about before, especially when you try and put these back in, the padding always bends and gets crushed and whatever. But yeah, let's actually get this out. So again, yeah, I mean, this is a good example of what I was talking about. As you guys can see, it wants to fall out, so always be careful with that. Though the figure, yeah, you guys can probably see if I go in a bit there, the figure's also not attached, so always be careful, because then if you were to pull that out, the figure is then going to drop out as well. And so, speaking of the figure, there he is. So I guess this is the first time I'm actually looking at this one in person then, and I do have to say, straight off the bat, the colour is a little bit weak. At least that's what it looks weak to me here in the light. It looks more pinkish, I would say, than red. Yeah, a little bit disappointed with that one, but oh, just the colour. I feel it should have been a little bit more red. I don't know if it is the way I've got the light shining on here. But anyway, like I said, this was from the very first Avengers movie. He wore 2 outfits in that first movie. It was Mark, wait, was it Mark 7 and 8 or Mark 6 and 7? No, it was Mark 6 and Mark 7. I did just double check to be sure. He actually started the movie with Mark 6 and then ended up finishing it with Mark 7. And I'm pretty sure it is Mark 7 because of those silver bits there on the knees. They're not on the Mark 6 outfit. Now, in terms of this mold, I don't believe it's actually been done exactly like this. You do have the number 11, the OG Marvel Pop back from 2011 when they first did the line of Avengers figures. I think that kind of shows the outfit is the same, but that's a very different looking pop. That really is that old school nostalgic look. There was also the Avengers Assemble set, but that's pretty different because he's like floating, but I think it is the exact same outfit there, if I am not mistaken. And I don't think I showed this off with Cap, but as you guys can see, the head is a little bit wobbly there. I should have tested with Batman, but we'll test the next figure, which is also a DC one. So let me just clip that in, get the padding out, there we go, and pop that on, and there is how the figure would be displayed. Again, we'll go around because we have with the others. Number 2, as I said, again, let me know in the comment section below, does anyone know why this figure was released as number 3 when it is actually number 2 in the Pop Figures line? Iron Man diecast collectible. As we are going around, Iron Man number 2 shows him in the same pose as the figure. On the back we have just that legal jargon again, Funko and Marvel. It's not really so much jargon, is it? Just says Pop is a trademark, and we have the Marvel logo with the copyright symbol as well. Iron Man number 2 with the half Iron Man mask as well. And yeah guys, another pretty cool display piece. But yeah, I just do feel the colour is a little bit wrong there. And I mentioned the next figure was DC. It is, of course, Wonder Woman from the very first Wonder Woman movie. Again, a Funko Shop exclusive sticker. As I said, the Iron Man figure is the only one that doesn't contain a sticker on it. A quick look around the box for you guys. I mean, you guys have now seen the boxes several times. They are all the same, just with obviously different glam shots. Again, the padding inside, pop it off, and there we have the figure, all of the padding falling out. Well, say the figure, the display case, and well, that one actually came off really easily that time. Yeah, I forgot actually there is a slight difference to this one. Don't worry, this is meant to be like this. So she's actually not properly attached. There we go. So they actually put the sword in this little bit as extra protection so it wouldn't break off in transit, and it does just then, oh, actually dropping it, slot in. There's, as you guys can probably make out there, a little slot where you then, oh, that's probably why I had it off the base actually. You just slot the sword in there. I think it does only go in one way yet. And there you go guys, you have the figure of Wonder Woman with her sword and shield. A pretty cool figure, but it is exactly the same as the number 172 figure from the Pop Heroes line from the Wonder Woman movie. But I'm okay with that. It is a cool looking figure. It is one of the better looking Wonder Woman figures, at least in my opinion. The lasso of truth there on her, you know, hip attached to the belt. Again, the screws in the back, I think it's just to hold the figure together more. If I am mistaken there and there is actually more of a reason for that, please also let me know in the comment section below. But as we go back round to the front, where there is a lot of the detail, the iconic Wonder Woman outfit, the sword, the shield, the tiara, yeah, it's just a really, really cool looking figure. Again, could they have done something a little bit different in terms of the pose, something different that we've not had in a figure before? I suppose, yes, they could have, but I'm quite happy with this one. I think it is a pretty good looking figure. And I'm honestly having a really hard time getting that attached there to the back, guys, if you can make that out there on camera. I don't know why, but I don't really want to spend all day trying to get that on. So there we go with the case now on top as well. Yeah, I really do like this one. Like I said, I think the figure, it's a good looking figure. You got all the Wonder Woman information there. Pop, the Wonder Woman logo, number 4, the etching there, or lasering if that's the correct term, with the shield as we're going around again, number 4, DC Pop. On the back again is that legal jargon, DC, Wonder Woman, Warner Brothers, the Funko logos as well. And then the side, again, Wonder Woman 4, half the face as we typically see always on the left side of a Funko Pop. Yeah, I'm really happy with this one. I think it's, you know, a pretty cool figure, a pretty cool display piece. And then the 5th diecast figure to release, guys, went under a different category. It went under the Pop Diecast Star Wars category. So yes, the first Star Wars diecast figure was Boba Fett. And the other difference that they had with these ones was that you could get a chase. As you guys can see there, it is a silver metallic chase. I don't know how popular these chases are. I mean, from what I've seen, not too many people like them so much, but you know, it's not like I've gone out and tried to check millions of comments to see what people think of these. My thoughts, I'm not a big fan. I've never really been a big fan of, you know, silvery metallic figures. No, I don't have the chase as well. If you're asking, I don't have the chase for the other figure that we're going to get into after this one. But yeah, as I said, Boba Fett. There is the Funko Shop exclusive sticker right there as well. Let's get into this one so we can show it off to you guys. The padding as usual. Let's pop that down there. And then what was really interesting was that they did change the bases, at least for the Star Wars ones, to be these plastic bases. And then here is the figure. Apologies there for the squeak if that was annoying. But there he is, guys, Boba Fett in all his glory. Now, when I was trying to look up this figure, because there are quite a few Boba Fetts, I was thinking, where is he from? Is it Return of the Jedi or is it Empire? And I'm pretty certain it is actually Return of the Jedi, because the flight suit, I think if that's what it's called, is the lighter colour. The cape is also green, and I believe the cape was like this kind of sandy brown in Empire, if I'm not mistaken. And then at the front, those like etched bits there, the two triangular bits at the top, that bit that is red on the right hand side, that's actually what it is in Return of the Jedi, and it isn't like that in Empire Strikes Back. So like I said, I'm pretty sure this is what it is from Return of the Jedi, and they haven't actually made this figure, so it is kind of like a different mold, or at least a different paint job, I guess is the best way to put it, because you do get the 10-inch Bounty Hunter collection figure. Pardon me, there's the regular 10-inch and the Bounty Hunter collection figure, which are in similar poses, but they are different paint jobs because they are from Empire Strikes Back. There was the action pose one. Was it like a Smuggler's Bounty one or something? Number 182 in the Star Wars line, as well as the OG figure that was, I think, number 8 if I'm not mistaken, which I think may have been Return of the Jedi, but some of the paint jobs, you know, were a little bit different. You didn't have that red triangle bit in there, for instance. So yeah, it's a slightly different figure, which I suppose is pretty good. I think that has gone in a lot better, which is pretty cool. So let's pop the case on there over the top as well, and there you guys can see. And yeah, like I said, I really think the black base makes a hell of a lot of difference. Honestly, if I could get like a spare base for the other 4 figures, I would change those up, because I think black is better than grey. Boba Fett there, I love how the laser engraving even has the dent there in his helmet. Was it ever confirmed that it was Cad Bane that gave him that dent? I'm not entirely too sure. They didn't really even cover it in the book of Boba Fett. But yeah, Boba Fett number 1, because it is under a different line, a different category now. It's still Pop Diecast, but it's Pop Diecast Star Wars, hence he is number 1 in this line. Funko, Disney, StarWars.com, Lucasfilm Limited, all that kind of legal jargon there at the back. Number 1, Boba Fett, with the half face as well, as we always see. A very cool looking figure and a very cool looking display piece. I feel like I've said that, you know, 3-4 times, maybe even for every figure, but yeah, what can I say? They're pretty cool. And the latest diecast figure to release, I actually got him last week and opened him up on the channel, is Darth Vader. So it is number 2 of the Pop Diecast Star Wars line. To show you guys the box again as we go round. Again, you can see there was a chase edition for this. I don't know whether they're going to do chase editions for like future diecast figures that aren't in the Star Wars range. Only time will tell, but again, it is just a silvery metallic version. I did feel the Darth Vader one was a little bit better from pictures I got. No, again, I did not get the chase. So I guess, yeah, is the title of the video misleading where I said we're going to be taking a closer look at every currently available die-cast Funko Pop? Yeah, because I didn't get the chases, but yeah, give me a break. And I say give me a break because chases are not always easy to get. Well, there's the padding that just dropped out. I didn't mention as well another Funko Shop exclusive. So again, the Iron Man, the only one that doesn't have a sticker. But here is the figure, guys, if we can get this out. Well, actually, this is the same way it happened when I showed this figure off last week. So these bits actually separate there. So this is how I did it. So you guys saw if I got the chase first or not, which I unfortunately didn't. And yeah, this was the figure. Now, in terms of the mold, this figure has been made before, and I'm a bit sort of 50-50 on it, to be perfectly honest. So this figure was part of the Bounty Hunter collection they did, those 7 figures that come together from the Empire Strikes Back when Vader is giving his orders to that group of bounty hunters, including Boba Fett. So it's the exact same mold as that figure, and it is a pretty recent release of Darth Vader. So I kind of feel like, you know, guys, you've just taken the most, or one of the most recent releases, and you've just really made him as a die-cast metal figure. The only other thing, though, I would say against that is that there are so many Vader figures in like a force stance or a force choke, holding the lightsaber. So yeah, it's, you know, I really don't know what to say in terms of what I would have preferred. I mean, with the lightsaber would have been a little bit more iconic, I guess. You know, they could have done him in a different mold as well, I suppose, especially with the prices that we are paying for these figures. But it is still a pretty cool one, some really nice detail. The eyes are a little bit reddish there, if you guys can pick that up on camera. Of course, I mentioned that before. I do believe the eyes were always supposed to be red, but they just appeared black because there was a lot of kind of like colour saturation and issues that they had in those original Star Wars movies. And popping the case on as well, and there you guys go. Darth Vader #2 in the Pop diecast line of figures. Pretty cool. The pointing pose, as I said before, from Empire Strikes Back Darth Vader with the laser engraving Pop Star Wars #2 Darth Vader. Again there on the side, as we've seen on the back. Always a little bit of legal jargon, or at least, you know, emblems, logos, whatever you want to call it. Funko, StarWars.com, Disney, and Lucasfilm Limited. Darth Vader #2, the half head again. I feel like I've been saying that quite a few times. And I am going to say this again, even though I've said it tons and tons of times already in this video. Another really cool display piece. And just to say, if you guys are interested in picking any of these up, the Iron Man, Batman and Wonder Woman diecast figures are still available on FunkoEurope.com, or at least they've been restocked, so you can still pick those figures up. The Darth Vader figure is now sold out. It was only released, I think, like a week or two ago, but it is now sold out. But I would envisage that maybe the Boba Fett and Darth Vader figures will come back for a restock at a certain point. Don't quote me on that. I really don't know for sure, but it's just something I am thinking, especially that they've restocked these other 3 figures. Though the Captain America one, I'm afraid you will not be getting that for retail. I seriously doubt it's going to come back into stock. If they were to bring it back with a Funko Shop exclusive sticker instead of that Funkon sticker, they could do that, I suppose, but I'm really not entirely sure whether they will. And the Captain America one is trading for over £100 now on TBD. So yeah, you might be able to get it for slightly cheaper. And actually, speaking of the Boba Fett and the Darth Vader figures, as I said, I don't have the chases. There is a shot of both of those figures, the chase editions. I'm not too sure what I feel. I've never really been a fan of these kind of silvery, metallic, chrome, etc. figures. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys think about those chases. And if you're actually not too bothered about the chases, I have seen both the common Boba Fett and Darth Vader go on the second-hand market for around £35 to £45, you know, shipping not included in some of those scenarios. So probably for about £40 to £45 you can get those figures as well on the second-hand market currently. And just before we get out of it, guys, let me touch upon things I think will be coming for the future. To my knowledge, there is nothing confirmed at this stage, but I'd be very surprised if we didn't get a Spider-Man and a Superman diecast figures for Marvel and DC respectively. They're two of the biggest franchise players in those universes. Equally for Marvel, I kind of feel a Thor and a Hulk will come. Same with DC, probably Aquaman and Green Lantern as well. You know, 4 big characters again in their respective universes. Could they do Hulk as a 6-inch? They could, but then you're probably looking at like 70 to 75. I still prefer if they did him in the, well, it's not quite regular size. You know, the Hulk figures are slightly bigger. They're not quite that sort of 4-inch. So yeah, I'd kind of prefer something like that. In terms of the Star Wars line, I'd bet my house that the next one is going to be a Stormtrooper. I just feel that we've always seen that sort of Boba Fett, Darth Vader, Stormtrooper kind of release scenario. Other ones, yeah, I mean, there's so many characters you could do for Star Wars. I mean, there's so many characters you could do for Marvel and DC. And there's so many other characters in other universes, other franchises. I wouldn't be surprised if eventually we started to get Harry Potter die-cast figures as well. What else? Pokemon, I suppose, is fairly popular, but the one thing I really don't want them to do is oversaturate the market. These die-cast figures started releasing, as I said, I think it was early August 2021, so it's been almost a year, and we've now had 6 figures, I suppose 8 if you count the Chase variants as well, but we've had 6 releases. So although they haven't released like this, it is like an average of 2 a month when you think about it. Though, speaking of the releases, just quickly, so Captain America released, I think it was August 2021. Then Batman released, I think it was October. So basically you had Batman was October 2021, Iron Man was November 2021, and then Wonder Woman was December 2021. Then there was a little bit of break at the start of this year, and Boba Fett released in April, and as I said, Darth Vader released in June of last month. So the releases have been a bit staggered, but like I said, it does mean there's about an average release of 1 every 2 months, and these Funko Pops are not cheap, £50 each if you can get them at retail. So yeah, like I said, I wouldn't want them to oversaturate things, but I think there are some pretty cool figures and display pieces to come. And I do apologise for saying the term display pieces so many times in this video. In fact, because these are display pieces, I need to think of a place to display them. And I've been meaning to spruce this display up for some time, and so there you go, guys. That is the new home of my die-cast collection. More to come, like I said, and they do fit reasonably well. Yes, there is a little gap there where I don't think, well, maybe a 7th figure might fit in there. I guess only time will tell. So that is their home for now. But yeah, it does now mean I have to do something with this colossal tower of Funko Pop figures. Well, when I say do something with them, it just means I need to put them back in here in some kind of order, some kind of display. But yeah, that is a video for another day. And well, that is going to do it for today's video, guys. First and foremost, thank you so much for taking a little bit of time out of your day to spend with me here on the Geek Lounge. It is very much appreciated, and I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If so, be sure to give us a thumbs up. Drop some comments below. Do you guys collect the die-cast figures? Do you enjoy them? And which characters would you like to see be made? Guys, we are continuing our very own Star Wars celebration here on the Geek Lounge with tomorrow's video. I teased it on Friday. There it is, and now zoomed out. How cool is that, guys? We'll be taking a closer look at that. The Emperor's Royal Guard. I was going to say helmet, but I guess headpiece is the correct term. And then on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday, yes, a video will be dropping every day of the week. This week we are going to be checking out something that we haven't done on the channel before, as I will be opening up a bunch of Pokemon cards from the new Pokemon Go expansion. I figured Wednesday was the best day to start this off because that is the 6th anniversary of Pokemon Go. So make sure you guys stay tuned for all of that and more. What's the easy way to stay tuned, I hear you say? Very simple. Subscribe. Hit click, smash that subscribe button and enable those notifications so you don't miss out on any of that future content. Guys, thanks again for watching, and we will see you on the next one. Peace out, nerds.